Hi, Dan McConnell. This is Timbcc, and we're going to look at an application or an entry, you could call it, from a strike, and it sort of doesn't matter if he's going to throw a 1-2 or if he's just going to throw a 1. The idea is that you have to be proactive, if not preemptive, in terms of situational awareness and environmental awareness. So Tim's going to throw a punch at me, and I'm going to use brush, check, counter, entry with some follow-ups. Tim will, thank you. Tim will throw the punch. So that's the entry, and you'll notice that I have to light him up a little bit. There's a big theory out there that joint locks, disarms, and a lot of things are incidental. But once you've engaged, there's movement. It's a dynamic situation. He's not going to stand still while I do my magic. So when I said it doesn't matter if he throws a 1 or 2, the reason is this hand should be coming in here about that fast, if not faster. So if he is throwing a number 2 punch, if he's throwing 1-2, 1-2, and he's throwing 2, this hand is coming in fast enough and high enough that if he's throwing the second punch, I've got it covered and can do other things, can do the same thing. So what's happening is I've brushed, checked, he's stopped my hit. I clear that path and hit. I get off the line, cover this, and hit again. Hit again. Then I cover this and hit again. You can hit down the angle of his jaw. You can hit on his neck. Okay, that's the entry. The follow-up, the control off the punch, is going to be under, around, into a choke. So I've sort of pushed his spine here, because if I don't get his balance by bringing him around, or I just try to jump behind him, maybe he's taller than me, maybe he's bigger than me, but if he gets a hold of my arm like this, there's potential for him to counter. So I want to try and take his balance by pushing in here. So we'll look. Okay, one more time. And while we're here, I'm taking this angle so that you can see how I'm kicking his hips out, and I'm still under his jaw, so I can finish this choke however you decide you want to do the choke, but I can kick his hips out with my hand, I can use my knee, I can use my hip, I can collapse with an oblique kick, collapse his legs. So that's the follow-up we were looking at. So when you're doing this, be careful with your partner and understand that while this is happening, these strikes are intended to be very fast. And as you're doing these strikes, try not to stand in front of him, because the angle for these strikes are bad, and if I were him, I would counter. So these strikes are intended to be fast while you're moving off the line and around your partner. Okay, so just be careful when you're doing this and have a good time. Pull everything out that you can find in there. Thanks.